Hey guys, my name is Jordan Gibo. This is my PowerPoint on self-improving. Okay, so for my introduction, I want to ask you guys two questions. My first question is are we destined to succeed or fail from the moment we were born? And secondly, can we make our situation worse or can we better our situation? And so this leads me into my definition of self-improving or self-improvement. And it's the being able to develop oneself or one situation into a better version of itself. And at the same time, also being able to acknowledge a fault or weakness that we may have that's holding us back. This leads me into two quotes. So my first quote is by an unknown author, and this quote essentially says, as my father's father left him a good name, and my father left me a good name, and so it's my responsibility to leave a good name for my son. Now this relates to the first point because even though maybe you are not proud of the name you have, you can take the responsibility on yourself to make the name better, and then your son can make the name better, and then you continue the process of continually making your name better continuously. My next quote is by Maxwell. In Maxwell's quote, he says, as people deceive themselves or who pretend to be strong where they're not, set themselves up for failure. This relates to my second point because ultimately, if you can't accept that you are weak or you have faults in certain areas, you will fail at some point in your life, because those areas are holding you back. And I just want to say this: it's okay if you do fail. It's fine, because you can grow and you can get better and you can improve from it. That's what all this is about. This leads me into my example about self-improvement. And so, let's say our athlete wants to improve their one arm back squat, but unfortunately they fail. Now they have to understand why they failed. Was it because they just weren't strong enough? Was it because they aren't flexible enough to have that range of motion at that weight yet? Or was it this external factor where it's either sleep, nutrition, which is essentially food, water, or Powerade, Gatorade, electrolytes, all that stuff. Was that the reason why they didn't do it? Because once we can fix that, then they'll get it the next time for sure. And the reason why self-improvement is so important to us as coaches is because for both us and our players, we're continually on this journey to improve ourselves. Because self-improvement is about life. We cannot stay stagnant in life. We have to continue to get better and grow. And some areas that for us as coaches that will constantly be improving are our film studying habits, our play design, our personnel design, and our teaching methods of athletes, as well as our community and media relations. But outside of our sport and our school/community and stuff, we have to look inside ourselves and the people that will always be on our side, which is our family. And unfortunately, sometimes they take a backseat to our lofty goals as coaches and we need to treat them with better respect, right? And remember that they're our family. We have to continually improve our relationship with them and continue to keep that relationship strong, because if all else fails, we know that they'll be by us, be on our side, and be able to pick us up when we need it, so we can continue to improve and get better at our craft. Next, for our athletes in particular, Our athletes need to continue to get better at their life skills, at their playing ability. But more importantly, our athletes need to get better at their studying habits. And when I say studying habits, I don't mean just in the film or just academically, but you have to be able to take each habit and apply it into the next thing. My dad has a saying about excellence breeds excellence, and frankly, it's true. If you're really good at studying film for your given sport, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to study well for, say, a test. Now, I do understand that it's a little bit different because sometimes people just pick stuff up like that, and it's easy for them. But the habits and the way it's prepared should stay the same, and because clearly those are working for the individual. And also, we need to improve our athletes' confidence, and it's without raising their arrogance. And it's because confidence is a key component to being able to self-improve. You have to feel like you can. You have to feel that you have the ability to, that you're allowed to, that you can become something else. That's greater than what anyone else thinks of you, and even what you think of yourself. And along with that is, don't fear failure, because failure is not necessarily a bad thing. And failure just gives you another opportunity to get better, get closer, or to the goal you want. Next is a personal quote of mine, and it's: do not let your situation victimize who you are, or if you do not like the situation you are in, and then you can change it. And that goes back to my story earlier about, let's say, you don't like your family name, and because if you don't like it, then don't continue the process of creating a bad name for yourself. Change it. Take that responsibility on you and change the name, and be the first one to take that step. Don't fear taking that step, because I guarantee you there will at least be one other person that will believe in you and help guide you along that step, as long as you're willing to take it. Next is my movie clip from Facing the Giant, and I'll just let you guys watch it. But it's about a team that didn't think highly of themselves, and this clip changed their mindset and knew that they could better themselves. Next are my steps to self-improvement. The first step is acknowledge your weakness or your fault. And you have to acknowledge that there's a point where you're weak or you're not good at. Because everyone has it, it's okay, but you have to acknowledge it so you can take that first step to improve. And then nextly, you have to know exactly where it is, because maybe it's at a surface level, like it's purely just your strength, or maybe it's a secondary level, because maybe it's flexibility, or maybe it's behind the scenes and your sleep, nutrition habits, or something along those lines. And the next step is design a realistic solution to the problem. You have to be able to design a realistic solution. That way you continually improve and continually stay with the process of it without faltering. Next, you have to continue to enact the solution. And you can't just stop, because otherwise you're just not going to improve anymore. Or that's not how improvement works. You have to continue it and keep going in order for it to work. The last step is you have to have confidence in your solution. Do not fear what people might think of it. As long as it's ethical, don't do anything unethical, but have confidence. Take pride in your work, or do not be embarrassed by it. You have to take pride in your creation and in the amount of time you put into it, because ultimately that's what's going to get you better. This leads me to a Bible quote that says, As for God gives a spirit not out of fear, but out of power and out of love and of a sound mind. Alright, so in conclusion, and can we better ourselves? No. Can we better our situation? And self-improvement, and all self-improvement really is it's getting us one step closer to becoming the perfect us that we can possibly be. Hey, thank you guys for a wonderful semester. A wonderful quarter. It was a pleasure being with you guys. Thank you. Bye.